All right, so welcome. Tonight is October 4th. I can't believe how quickly the year is flowing. And tonight I'm really excited to actually go over a new program that the company started. I'm going to walk through it with you. It's called First 30, and it's basically a new onboarding program the company put together for us to use. It's only looked at it after just onboarding a brand new coach myself, and I really like it. I'm going to disconnect a few things that are running in the background here because I just got notice from my computer that there's high usage. That probably means that I need to just shut everything that I'm not using down. So hold on one second. I'm one of those people that has like 19 tabs open at a time. I don't know if any of you are that person or not, but my husband doesn't like that. When he looks at my computer, he gets all, Brandy would not like that either. Oh my God. Can you see me okay, or am I breaking up?
You're good on my end.
Okay, thank you. That helps me. I just want to do the best I can to make it look best for people who are here and people who are going to be watching later. And I'm going to leave it, keep trying to put it on speaker view, but I don't know that Megan will appreciate it because I think she's the one that we're highlighting on speaker view, even though she's muted and not talking. So I'll leave it on the gallery view. I'm not trying to pick on you, Megan. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about was, first, what is onboarding? Because some of you are new coaches. We have a range of Start Island coaches all the way down to brand new people. And I wanted to walk through why we have a new process and how it's going to help us. So basically, when we bring coaches onto our team, we're sharing with them the gift of Beachbody, which is helping to change their life, like first physically and then maybe as a business. So what they get to do is they get to pay it forward and invite other people for the same reason. So this is sort of a I tell you and you tell somebody, and it's a business of duplication. And part of the problem we have at times is that we don't know exactly the best way to tell people how to do something, and it's a game of telephone, and we think, oh, maybe we're not doing it right. We question ourselves. So the nice thing that Beachbody just did was put together a set of standard documents and standard processes to help us help our people. I mean, you can always modify things, but they put together the tools that were really going to help us do this in a way that we don't have to question it anymore. Because I think that's what we've been doing, is saying, well, I don't know if my onboarding process really works, and I don't know. And I don't know, how many of you listened to the National Wake Up Call this week, yesterday? A couple of you. So Michelle Myers really spoke about people owning their own business. So as you bring people onto your team, it's up to them to find their way to run their business because it's their business. However, despite that, we want to set them up for success. And seeing that the company said, listen, here are some basic tools to help you as a sponsor, help your new people. This is going to allow us to set them up with the most success. So yes, they own their own business, and yes, they can run it however they want. However, as their sponsor, we know that they're going to get frustrated at times. That this is simple work. There's 4 vital behaviors, and that's simple to repeat that consistently, day in and day out, align their goals with their activities, and that's really all this business is. However, what happens is people get distracted and people get frustrated and people lose their confidence or forget why they started, and then doing those 4 things don't happen every day. And when that happens, there's a disconnect. So what we want to do when we bring on a new person is help them really connect with why they want to do this business, okay? And we'll call it your why, we'll call it whatever we want, but it has to have an emotional connection for them, and it has to be strong enough to help them through doing it even when it's hard to do, or when they're busy, or when they're distracted, or when their daughter is in the hospital, or when their child is graduating from college, or when they're moving, or when they have a new baby, because life is hard, okay? And we never have spare time. We have to make the time to do this. And like I said, it's the 4 vital behaviors. So it's you being a product of the product, you sharing this product outwardly, openly, and inviting people to join you, and you following up with people, working on yourself, and it's just a duplicate, and recognizing people, but it's a duplication of that, okay? So giving you that background, we really complicate this, right? I mean, we find 13 million different things to do, but what we really want to do is help people connect with why they want to do this. Every person will have a different reason. It will mean something different for everyone, but overall, if you can help them find their purpose, and it's big enough, what was it Michelle said yesterday in the call, it went really far. If your faith is bigger than your fear, they both can't be there together. One is going to win out. So if you have more faith in this business, in this system, in this company, in these products, and you're willing to take that and share that with people, then the fear of failing or having someone judge you or you messing up when you talk to them, it's unimportant. And when you can connect that to your greater purpose to help somebody either achieve their goals or their dreams, then that can keep you going. And I guess one of the big questions that was asked on the call on Monday was, how do you keep going? Lee, you've been in this business for almost 10 years. A lot of you on this call have been on this team for at least 3 or 4 years. Some of you are brand new. Maybe you've been doing this for 4 months and it's getting old. I don't know if that's true, but how do you keep it so that you can keep doing it every day? It's the same 4 tasks. Don't they get boring? They called it mundane. But and this was good. I liked how Jeff Hill said, I have 7 kids. I don't. I have 4. But he said he had 7 kids and he taught each of them to ride a bike. And it was equally exciting every time one of the children rode their bike successfully. And I kind of think of it like that. If you are helping a new person, introducing them to the products, if you're introducing them to the business, you get really excited and invigorated with them every time you do that. So that's why I keep showing up and keep coming back, because I love how I felt when I first started this, and I want everyone to feel that way. So if I'm starting out a new customer or I'm sharing a product with somebody, that's super exciting to me. And same thing with the business. When I get a brand new coach and they tell me that they have this vision and they are going to talk to a lot of people because they know that they are going to help a lot of people, and then they connect it to their why, I can help them when life gets in the way, right? Just by reminding them, listen, this is going to be hard, but you're doing it, and you just need to keep doing what you're doing. And I think that's the missing link. And I'm spending a little bit of extra time going on that before I just walk through the documents, because that piece is so important. If someone has told you that they are missing time with their children, that they love their job, but they are married to it and they want to spend time with their family and their spouse, that they make a great salary, but that time with their family will be something they can never get back, then I think it's really important to remind them, listen, you told me this. Is this still the case? So then if that's the case, what do we need to do in your business to help you get there? And then let's look at the activity that you're currently doing and where you need to go. So if you need to have a team of 20 coaches producing X volume, and you only have 10 of those coaches and your volume is 1/10 of what you need, there's only a few ways to bring that up. I mean, and it's all around recruitment, and it goes back even further to sharing. You gotta be relatable. You gotta take your quirks and your weirdness, and you gotta make it you, and you gotta use that to attract people and help them. Give them the same feelings that you have about this company, about these products, about the life that you're creating. And that is how Beachbody will move and change your life, okay? The tools that Beachbody has presented, fire freak flag, amen. Okay, help me find my freak flag, because I know I'm a freak. I totally get distracted, squirrel. So the tools that Beachbody put into place are going to help us. The first one that they have, and I love this. I was sitting there going, oh my God, this is so perfect because someone else said it for me. I can say it all, but that was perfect. Kim Carver, recorded the new coach call for October. I think it was for October, it might have been September. I don't know. Heather posted it in our group, and it was a 7-minute call, and I listened to it last night before I went to bed. Like I said, I thought it was perfect. He explained Success Club. He explained Success Starter. And I just enrolled the coach. I don't know if she's on the call or not, but Danielle, if you're here watching, hello. We did our Getting Started Right call and went through these documents before Beachbody released the first 30. So we just went through this, and I had just gone on and explained all this to her, and I took up a lot more than 7 minutes of her time, which, again, it was a connection for us, but I felt like Kim's call was so perfect. So if you haven't listened to that call, I suggest listening to it and sharing it with your coaches, because it's so important that we all have a common ground and understanding on Success Club. And I'm going to stress this because it's just a marker in your business, okay? And I know that most of you on the phone have even hit Success Club 1, 2, 10, 2 dozen, 3 dozen times, right? But for the new coaches that don't know what it is, it was set up to help you be consistent with your activity, okay? Because everything is based around your activities. We want you to be working out, sharing your workouts, inviting people to join you, and following up, doing your personal development, and doing recognition. But basically, that's the vital behavior part of what we're doing. And when you are doing that, and you consistently do that, you will have people to join you. If you don't have enough people, well, guess what the answer is? Talk to more people. So that's where you get into, I can help you as your coach because you told me this is your goal. What is your current activity? Well, I invited 6 people to join me. Okay, that was yesterday, and now I'm talking to my new person like, well, what are you doing today? Well, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for them to join me. Okay, so that will help you help people. But if you're really serious about this business, you need to go out every day, and you need to talk to 6 new people, and you need to invite 6 new people to join you. And that part is simple, yet challenging. Because where are you going to find 6 new people every day? Because that's like 300 people a month, right? 680 people a month. So that's a lot of people. And that's the part where if you share or fly your freak flag, your freaks will come find you, your vibe will attract your tribe, and you won't even have to do as much inviting because you're going to have a tribe of people that get you. And when you go do something, guess what? If you have built relationships with them, they want to go do it with you. So the cool part about this business is you get to be totally you, and you're totally different than me. Okay? You might be an athlete, a former athlete, a triathlete now. I mean, you might be a mom and you might have a special needs child, but you'll have a way to connect with people. You might work full time and, have kids that play sports, but however you're connecting with people and building these relationships, invest in others with no expectations. And I think you'll find that as you do that and you connect to enough people, you're going to get people that want to do what you're doing, whether it's joining your team or just being in your groups. But when you invite them, they're going to say yes. They're not going to, and some of them will go away. They're going to say, they're not going to respond ever. You're going to be like, what am I doing wrong? And it's not you. It's them. Okay, look, I'm yellow and I can change this to stupid. No, I can't. Okay. Something's wrong with my machine. Okay. So what I wanted to do is walk through those documents. The first thing is that call. So now when you bring on a new person, we're going to have you share that call with the person. I sent out a welcome letter. I'm happy to share it. I modified Sarah Molnar's letter, and it basically welcomes them to the team, asks them some questions, and then it goes into setting up a time to talk with them. It asks them to fill out the Getting Started Right guide, and I'm just going to flip my screen to, in the first 30 set of documents, it's called the Business Quick Start, and that's the thing that you want them to fill out, they say in the first 30 minutes, right? They sign up to be a coach. It's the basic information. It goes through their coach ID, who their upline is, and the support team that you have built with you, your sponsor, and their sponsor, so kind of your upline diamonds and star diamonds, teaches them how to go in and set up their profile, their business websites. It tells them their URLs for both their Beachbody site and their Shakeology site. And it tells them to reach out and ask for a meeting with their coach. It's very basic. It doesn't even take more than probably 5 minutes to fill out. It touches on the vital behaviors, and it gives them the phone number for the National Wake Up Call, for, I believe it has Coach Relations phone number on there, and it has all the social media pages for them to follow. So definitely print that out, take a look at it. It shouldn't be scary, okay? That's how you're going to know if someone is deserving of your time. So when you sign up a new coach and you send them their welcome letter, you can ask them, there's 3 different kinds of coaches. There's a discount coach, a hobby coach, and a coach that wants to run the business, okay? So with those 3 kinds of coaches, which one are you? And you can change it anytime, and you can tell them that. I just don't want to give you more than you need right now. So then they proceed to fill out this profile document and request a meeting with you, because now you know that they're serious. They've actually taken the time to want to talk to you. The second document that is in that packet is the 30-day action plan, which is a little deeper. And this you're going to want them to spend a little bit of time on. It's why they became a coach. That emotional connection to, what's her name? Michelle Myers said it really well today. Hold on. She said, if you can identify, if you believe in something bigger, then your excuses don't stand a chance. So when they have their belief in their why can't be weak because excuses will be able to overpower them. But once they can identify what it is, maybe, like I said, maybe it's, I want to be there with my kids because, when I grew up, my mom worked every day, or maybe my mom stayed home with me and I want to be home with my kids. But that's something that's very important to me. So that's your strong emotional connection to, you see that helping others can help you be home and have that time with your family. Then that's my why. I'm sure you can break it down. You can create more parts to it. The more that you can help them feel that reality and connect to it with emotion as to, well, how are you going to feel when that happens? Some example was, I don't want to see my child's first steps on a video from the nanny or hear their first words on the video. Now, there's some of you on the phone right now that when I said that, you're like, oh my God, I can totally relate to that. I don't want that to be me. That would have been me had I not become a full-time Beachbody coach. I know someone's sitting there going, yeah, that's me right there. That's why. So you can connect to how you feel and help them get into that deeper touch with that part, because they're going to have to find people every day and connect to people every day. And some days they're going to wake up and just want to go to the park and not connect to people. And that's okay to do once in a while. But when that feeling gets in and you say, oh, I don't have to do it today and I don't have to do it tomorrow, and you know what, maybe I just won't do it all week. And when you let that keep going every day, that's how you're going to destroy your success. So if you have to show up consistently. So they created the Success Club because they know that the minimum amount of activity that they created for Success Club that you have to perform in order to hit that number will keep you on track with a level of success. So if you hit Success Club 5 every month, you're going to have to talk to whatever your ratio is. Maybe, let's say it's 1 in 10 because you're just starting out and you need to help 3 people with a challenge pack every month. So that's 30 people. That's 1 a day that you're going to have to invite. Maybe your ratio is not that good. Maybe, but whatever, you can figure out, okay, I've invited 12 people and 1 said yes, and I invited 15 more people and 1 said yes, so your ratio is 13. And if you need to get your 3 people, you need to talk to 40 people. So now we know the answer, right? It's a numbers game. So that Success Club keeps you going with that activity, and that's your job, is to help your coaches see that they have something to help people with, to connect to them with, and to create a consistent level of activity so that they can achieve their why. Okay? Maybe it's because they lost 100 pounds and now they're able to do things in their life that they could never do before, like ride a roller coaster and be able to sit with a single seatbelt on an airplane. And those things mean so much to them that they just want to find 5 people to help do that. And that's going to be enough for them. That once they do that, they'll want more. But that's their why. Then they need to talk to a lot of people to find those 5 people, but they have a story to share. So I feel like you have to be able to help connect them to that emotion. So in that second document, the 30-day action plan, you're helping them have a deep connection and emotion tied to their why, and then talk through it. The first 30-day goals, it says, help blank people join a challenge group. You work with them to decide, well, are you going to, one of the goals we've set out there, if you watch some of these videos and listen, is Success Club. So that's helping 3 people. Is that one of your goals? And you're not going to assign them goals. You're going to let them decide, yes, that's one of their goals. Then they are going to work to reach their goal. So if they want to hit Success Club, maybe their goal is Success Club 10 every month because you explained the difference. And they said, well, I know I can do 3, but I'm going to go for 5. So now they need to do enough activity to hit 5 challenge pack sales a month. Okay? And then you get to support them along that route. But because you've discussed that goal, so they want to help 5 people join the challenge group, and in that course, they'll be achieving Success Club 10. They want to earn blank dollars in commissions. Maybe you discussed how easy it is to get your product paid for. They sign with a challenge pack. They help 3 or 4 people, and they've got their challenge pack paid for. Maybe that's one of their goals. Maybe they want to complete their coach basics training, or whatever your team is running. We'll talk about that in a minute. Maybe they just need help sticking to their fitness program in Shakeology, but you have a place here, and there's a place for others to help them with their first 30-day goal. Some of the coaches are going to read the introduction and kind of get a good background and say, I want to get customer leads. So I know I need to get Emerald and I need to get Success Club. So they've got to find 2 coaches to join their team, and they've got to get 3 challengers on board, and even those coaches can be challengers, but you help them define that goal. It's their goal, but you've explained it, and they're bought into it, okay? Now they're willing to do the work because the why is tied to their emotions, and the activity is going to help them reach their goal, okay? So part of that alignment is they have to talk to so many people to get 2 coaches to join their team. Maybe they already said, hey, listen, my husband's going to sign up, and I think my mom will do it. Great. If they're each going to join challenge or buy challenge packs, then they've already got 4 points. That's a way to help them see that that's one way to do it. Maybe they said, I don't know anybody that will do it. I have to find all my people on the internet. No one in my world can afford it. Now it's an education thing. Help them see the value in these products. Help them educate the people around them that there's value in the products. And money leaves the equation when that happens. So there's a lot of ways to help people, but part of that would be an attitude, right? That's their attitude. That's what they believe. That's the story they're telling themselves, is that no one around me can afford it. And when you believe that, that's your truth. You live in that world. So I think that you then need to help them do some personal development, create new beliefs, help them see the value, and help them educate others in the value. Okay? And not everything's overnight. That's why you really want to be working with a lot of people. You have 1 new coach to help train, but maybe you have 3 or 4 other coaches that are also working on these goals, and you can have meetings to talk about where they are and align their activities. Because it's draining to constantly work with people that need to work also on their beliefs, okay? But that's a big part of it. Our beliefs in ourselves and in the products are very much numero uno for success, okay? And I think we recently had a call on that too. The action steps, easy to help them with. It's how many contacts are they going to make, how many new conversations, how many workouts are they going to do. Help them track their activity and report it back to you. That's how they can earn their time with you. They don't want to tell you what they're doing. I have a feeling that they probably don't want to admit that they're not doing enough, and that may or may not be someone you want to spend your time with. So figure out a way that's convenient for them, track, and then, you don't want to make it too hard. It's not like they have to fill out this 20-page document to earn your time, but if they're not willing to tell you that they have had conversations and where they're stuck, because that's your job, is to help get them unstuck. Your job isn't to push them, hey, you didn't make any calls this week, you said you wanted this, but how come you're not doing this? That's really not your job. Your job is a CEO talking to a CEO with, hey, I've been there where you're struggling. And that's our job, okay? So they will fill out that first 30-day action plan and get back to you. They're going to tell you how much time they have and what kind of a time commitment they can make to working the business. And then you set up that accountability check-in. I can't do that right now. When I'm done. Yeah, when I'm done. Thank you. I'm being for position to look at a 3D drawing right now. So after you've established when you're going to be meeting with them and when the accountability call is, have some minimum requirements for them to earn your time. It can be anything you decide. And then there's some things on the bottom, just so are they in a group and have they connected, other things for them to check off. they know how many people they're inviting, that kind of thing. Any questions on that? Just maybe even on why we're doing this or what that means, or anything it goes. I'm not going to judge for a question. No? And one thing I forgot, oh, Heather, do you have a question?
Yeah, sorry. Do you know if the content guide I looked at the content guide for the Coach Basics group, and it looks like it's still the same. It just sort of has a little bit of First 30 in there. Do you know if that's changing at all?
I don't know, but I can ask. I don't know. So my understanding is that it was still going to be 30 days, and then if your team wants to shorten it, obviously you can, and if you just wanted to use what you were using, our team, us, whatever, keep using something that we had been using, just to incorporate some of this into the basics training. Make sure that they've done their profile and their websites and that they're running a group and inviting people, that kind of stuff. But we can talk about that too. I can go offline and ask some of my peers to find out what the plan is for that, and maybe even talk to Cam Carver, who's working on that, and get back to you. But remind me, because I'm bad at remembering things, and you're good.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, okay. The next, any other questions? That's a good question. That was one of the things that I want to do too, is to set up a system where there's going to be, you'll onboard your coaches and get them ready, and then we'll have, depending on how long our Coach Basics is going to be, we'll have one, at least one, if not two. If they're short, we'll have two running every month with different leaders running them, so that you can help if you're bringing people into the group. You can always run your own group. We'll share the content, but I'd like to have some consistency so that people know, okay, great, I get my coach onboarded, and now we're going to go in a group together with 3 or 4 other new coaches from the team. And I know this month Lee's running one, and next month Brandy's going to run one, and Heather's going to run one, and Maridella's going to run one. We'll just kind of take turns. So that way you can join one and help run it, but you don't have to be the primary one to kick it off every month. If we had 20 people that were running them, you could run one every month, and there could be 2 running a month. We would share that. So that's just a thought in my head, to make it easier for everybody. Let me go back. I keep flipping my screen. Anyone else have a question on that stuff so far?
I have another one.
Yeah.
I know that the links are out, obviously, for this stuff, so we're able to use it. I can't remember what they said, the email that would be going out for new coaches. Was that October 10th and beyond? Do you remember what the date was for when the Jeff Hill video in the new coach welcome email that corporate was sending out?
I don't know. I'm going to write that down. Does anyone know? I don't know.
I thought it was like the 10th. Anybody who was a new coach on the 10th or after would get the new coach.
You guys, there's a video by Kim Carver in the Beachbody Champions Facebook page that explains all of that. And yes, the 10th and forward is when that takes initiative.
Awesome. I haven't seen it.
I was trying to cut corners and not have to watch it again. I couldn't remember what the date was, so thank you.
Thank you. No, that's good to know, because we're seeing this, we could assume that they're getting it now. So if you sign someone up in the next week, then know that you're going to have to send them the link to the video from Jeff. And that was the one thing I didn't mention. I watched that too. That was quick and short and to the point, and creates consistent message for your coaches. You might say, well, I can tell them all that. You can be a reinforcer. Know that the perspective of a new coach, and you probably remember this because you've all been new coaches, myself included, it's an overwhelming state, okay? We're getting a lot of information thrown at us, and I like to tell people, you're going to hear stuff, and you're going to hear it from me a couple of times, and you don't have to remember it. Till you start doing it, you can ask me questions, but don't feel like you have to remember everything I'm saying or even know what you're doing. I give them permission to ask me questions because there's so much to know, and I don't want them to have to stop and just figure that they have to process it all and be perfect. I just want them to just move through it all. Oh, okay, Danielle, I didn't see you, but you have a question. Then you raise your hand, right? Go ahead. You unmute. I don't see you. Hold on. I can't find you. Danielle, can you unmute? Right. No. If you have a question, go ahead and interrupt, because I can't find you on here to unless wait. No, that's not you. Okay, sorry, guys. Yeah, I give people permission for that because it's so important to help them understand there's a lot of information coming at them. Any other questions so far? So the video from Jeff Hill, before I forget, that's a nice just welcome. It's great. You know, Carl does a welcome in the old one too. One of those is great to help them see that this company is more than just you, and that's part of why we wanted to do this. Yeah, we have a whole team of people, but look at our corporate team here from Jeff. He's polished. You know, we'll deliver the messages, and we're not as polished. Oh, okay. And the question on when this comes out. It's being released. It's out now, but as far as it rolling out in the new coach newsletter or the new coach welcome letter, that was on the 10th. Jen had asked that question. So it will come into their, if you sign anyone up between now and the 10th, we have to kind of push it to them. But after the 10th, they're going to get all the links sent to them in the new coach welcome. And go ahead and interrupt me. I'm going to move to the next document, but if there's something I skipped over, if you had a question. They put together an onboarding best practices that I looked at. I'm just going to thumb through it. It tells you like checklists for, you guys can pull this down. For your first 30 minutes in the business, your first 30 hours, your first 30 days, as the new coach, kind of what you should be doing, if the reference checklist on the things. It's really just a concise way for them to go through it. It even talks about the 3 types of coaches. It talks, shows them, here's the welcome email from Jeff. I think it might even be embedded where you can play it from there. It's pretty spot on. I mean, I feel like you can create more life to it by sitting down with somebody and saying, okay, I want you to do this, and then come back to me so we can have a conversation about what you saw. Make it your own. The more that you work with your new coach to help them, the more of a partnership you'll have. And depending on how you run your business, that might not be your style. You might say, listen, I'm going to give you the stuff you need, and you make your list, and you come back to me in 3 days, you know, however you run your business, because you're all CEOs. I'm just here guiding you on things that you might need help with because I've been there. But some of you might be better. In fact, many of you are better at things than I am, okay? Because we all have our strengths, and they're all different. I promise you that my strengths are not yours and yours are not mine, and I do wish that I had some of your strengths, but I can't. I can work on things, but my strengths are kind of my strengths. Okay, so the guide, that, what do they call it? The leader guide is really for you to make sure they've gone through those things. But it's a fabulous document, and maybe after they've gone through those, you share that with them as a reference, because they're going to start bringing on coaches, but also so that they know, okay, this is something I can do. Because they might look at you and say, I could never do what she just did. And then you show them, like, here's a guide that I used to onboard, you know, to welcome you onto our team and help you with this. And then they realize, oh my gosh, okay, phew, I can do that. So then they do show you a copy in that onboarding document, the best practices of what the new email will look like. I just saw that as I was flipping through, and it shows you pictures of all the documents as well. And then the last thing was the checklist to go through it. So the leader guide and then the checklist. So the checklist was pretty simple one-pager, and the guide was really to help you help all of that.
Now, I forgot to ask you, why did they say we use so much electricity?
Oh, say that again? That was not a question for us. Okay. Was Danielle here? I know she raised her hand. Danielle, did you want to ask a question? Yeah, I seem to find it. Okay. Did anyone else want to ask a question about this? I mean, I can talk a little more, but I want. If there's anyone else that has another question. Where are the docs for me to review? Okay, so 2 places. I sent them out in an email telling you about this call. All the links to all the documents hopefully were in that, but also in the Team B group, Heather Emerson posted, hey, look at this, and there was 6 different links in that in that post. One of them is, the first one might be the video from Jeff, but then there's 5 other links, and each one is one of these documents that we just went through. So hopefully that will help you, Amelia. If you can't find it, then just let me know. Oh, okay. Cool. And again, I mean, I'm feeling like this is sort of the process that we needed someone to say, look, that's all you need to do. So it does involve, at some point, after you sit down with them and have them, you send them the welcome email and they get back to you with kind of a getting to know you, maybe answer a few questions. You schedule that time where they're going to fill out their quick start, and then they're going to let you know they did that, request that meeting. Then they fill out that document that has their I forget what they call it. I'm sorry. I'll go back to the actual name so that you know. The first 30-day goals in the action guide. It's called the action plan. So they fill out the first 30-day coach action plan. That's going to be what you're going to use to help them drive to their 30-day goals. Okay. And some great 30-day goals. They'll talk about this in the reference guide. You know, there's hitting Success Club, starting their first challenge group, getting to Emerald, getting customer leads. And you notice some of these overlap. So maybe their first goal is just running a challenge group. You can tell them, listen, if you can get 3 people to buy challenge packs, you hit another goal as well called Success Club. And if you feel like you're really moving and you can take on something else after we get that done, if you 2 of your people are long-term drinkers or friends that want to do the business, we can also get you qualified for customers this month, which is an amazing perk. So depending on who they are, how they want to do the business, you know, these are questions that as a CEO to a new CEO, you get to have. Seems too easy, I know. What are your thoughts? Don't be afraid to all speak at once. Anyone?
Okay, I had another question. I like how simplified it is, but I was confused about one thing when I was going over all of the documents and stuff. So they'll end up getting that that new welcome email from Beachbody, and it'll have the video with Jeff Hill.
Yep.
The Kim Carver video I loved, but I didn't see it anywhere in, like, where would we fit that into having them listen to that? Because it was really good, but it wasn't in like a checklist type of thing. So I'm like, where do I put that in?
I would probably send it to them and say, in preparation for our first call, here's a great reference call. It's 7 minutes long. Because the first one we know of by Cam is 7 minutes long. It seems like since it's the one for October, that he'll do a new one every month to keep it relevant and whatever specials are going on. I think he even referenced the challenge pack specials. So I would, maybe that's why it's not included, because the link will change. So I would then take it on and put it into your, okay, they've done their profile and now they've watched the video from Jeff and they've gotten back to you. I would then say, okay, in preparation for our next call, I'm going to have you fill out this 30-day action plan. We're going to discuss it, so don't worry if you get stuck. But that going over that 30-day action plan is, to me, the getting started right call, right? That's when you're going to take maybe 30 or 45 minutes to really understand, well, part of that 30, 45-minute call, to understand their why. And if they just wrote something in a one-sentence, not very emotional way, help them get a little deeper to it, and then talk about what actions they're going to want to do to create the results, basically, based on what their goal is. So if they just want to get their product paid for, they just need to sell 5 bags of one-time orders of Shakeology. They're not going to hit Success Club, but they don't care. You can explain it, but not important to them. That's okay. You're just there to help them understand that this is, based on what their goals are, these are actions that they should be taking, and let's see if you can create, this, have your activity meet your goal. Now, if their goal is to make $10,000 a month, then you're going to tell them that activity isn't going to get them there. And they're not going to make that in their first month. Might take, and you can show them what it's going to take by building a team and the volume, and then they can choose to do it as fast as they want. Because when things like that, that's really build a team. The more people you're helping and the more people they're helping, that will create an income that's bigger than you touching 5 people a month with Shakeology. And some of these questions are going to come up and you're not going to know how to answer them because you're new. And that's when I think you post on the team page or come to, if you're like 10 levels from me, maybe you come to your sponsor or their sponsor or me, and we go through like, okay, yeah, you haven't hit six figures yet. How are you going to help them hit six figures? That's your goal too. Then we can all learn together on that. Because there's some part of a formula that says if you want to earn $2,000 a week, you got to have a team doing X. Okay. And then that's building a team, and that takes recruiting, and it all goes back to a challenge group, but it's bigger. Okay. So some of it you can't force either. You got to help a lot of people before they want to be coaches. And I think that's what a lot of the national calls and coach calls that I've been hearing lately, there's a underlying theme of you use the products and you use them from day 1 to day 90 and have results and help other people get those results. And the coaches will come, the team will build itself, and each coach will have results, will help more people get results. And that's the business in its like true state. And when you say, listen, man, I can build a team of 100 people all selling 10 bags of Shakeology. Okay, that's another way to do it, and let's do it. But help make sure that everyone sees the value and the results so that they have a reason and a passion to pay forward. It's not just there's more to it. Beachbody is richer than just people selling product, in my opinion. Let me go back real quick to my other, let's pull up all the documents and stuff like that. Yeah. Other questions from you guys on, well, I don't have any coaches yet, or I already brought on 4 coaches. Now, how do I go back? Like, anyone have anything else for me? Okay. I don't want to waste your time, so if there's no questions, then I'm okay too. Anyone excited or feel like this is going to help their business? And maybe why, Heather? Yeah, okay. Anyone else?
Just glancing at these very quickly, I think that this can be something that's established throughout the coach life. So obviously within the first 30, but let's set up a 30-day goal once you hit Emerald 4. Let's set up a new 30-day goal once you hit Diamond, Star Diamond, things like that, to just kind of keep the goals for the next thing. And you can just, adjust and make how you need to, but definitely make sure that you're having that checklist to continue making that next rank or that next goal that you want, whether that's, income or whatnot. So you definitely use this for, your own needs.
And that was something that Michelle Myers talked about on the call yesterday. She basically said, if you're looking for external motivation and you're constantly seeking it by what the promotion is that Beachbody's running or what the rank is that you're going to hit, you're going to eventually run out of steam because you're going to be in alignment to what the Beachbody goal is that month. You have to look inside for your momentum. And Amelia, that would totally play into, okay, so you're on this track to earn your 6-figure income, but you know that that's not a today goal. That might be a 6-month or a year goal. So let's break down your goals and figure out what your next goal is. Yes, you hit Emerald. Let's hit Emerald 2 and 4 the next month. You've done this. Okay, great. What other, aside from rank, can we tie in there so that you are going to feel that it's your goal, right? And maybe it is rank right now. But I think that's a really good point. It doesn't have to just be 30 days. It can be 30 days. 3 years, Thank you. Anyone else? For me personally, I've kind of been feeling like for 5 or 6 years that I didn't have a system, even though there's plenty of systems around. I keep thinking that everyone's system is better, and this is the best of the best, guys. These were the top coaches in the company that got together and they broke apart what we had to make it simpler, and then created the best practice documents on how to use them. And again, what I think, again, take it for what it is, but again, because I believe so strongly that this business is a relationship business, is have open and honest conversations and connect with your coaches more than just their first 30 days. And you will find that you're running in this race together, and you're running side by side and celebrating your successes together. and their successes will be your successes. So when you're celebrating for them, and that's the reward. At least in my world, having you guys have success is just as meaningful to me as me having success. And that's part of what keeps me going in this business. Like, you've read any of my blogs recently. I blogged about almost being a decade. It has been a decade that I've been doing Beachbody coaching. And that's the longest I've been in any job. And why? I could leave at any time. It's totally rewarding. And I give of myself, but I'm getting so much in return. Knowing that I can inspire one of you to do what I've done just by sharing my experiences, I'm not different than any one of you, okay? I promise you, I started before you, and that's the only difference. I might have enrolled more people than you. I might have talked to more people than you, but I don't have a bigger skill set than you do. I don't. In fact, some of the things that I'm good at, you might not be good at, but I guarantee you that each and every one of you has a dozen skills that are honed in better than some of mine, okay? I have a lot of defects on my skill list, and that's okay. We all can grow and improve, but helping and watching you guys do your business is very rewarding to me. And so I just choose to let that inspire me. You guys, I'm sure, will feel the same as your coaches come on. And, and when I first started, just a few of the things that motivated me based on my strengths. We went through the Strengths Finder book. If you have it or looked at it, competition is one of mine. I want to win. I want to be on the list. I want to be the top. I want to, I used to say, no, my name has to be on that list every week. I have to be in the top 10. I have to be the #1 recruiter. I have to be, and so then what did I have to do to get there? I had to do the activities. So I had to reach out to a lot of people. I had to connect to my customers. I had to help them see the value. I had to help them get results. I had to help them see that they could help people pay it forward. Right? Did I say that? Yeah. So all those things were because of my silly strength of wanting to win, right? But it got me somewhere. It got me to see that by helping a lot of people, it would also help me. But I don't think that I've shared that that's the most rewarding part. In knowing that, yeah, okay, my name was on the list. But what did that mean? That meant that I helped 5 people lose 5 pounds that week. And 3 of those people in 3 weeks decided that they wanted to help 3 of their friends, so they joined my team. And that's the part where you really start feeling a bigger purpose. And to me, I think that's the gift that you may or may not know you have. And when you do that purpose on and accept that challenge of sharing it and helping your coaches help their coaches and feel that, then that's your team growing, and that's the residual effect and the exponential income growth that happens with this business, because you are rewarded when your team is doing what you're doing. And honestly, I worked in corporate America. I think it was only for 8.5 years, and I didn't see that aligning with my family and my personal goals. So I left, and that was a hard leave, okay? I had a solid 6-figure income, and it could have gone, higher, but I had golden handcuffs on. I knew that the path that I was on was going to take me away from my personal goals, which was being a mom and creating a family. Traveling, I couldn't even have a kid because I never even saw my husband, right? Like, how does that work? So when I figured that out and I left, that was one of the hardest decisions I made. But I think when you know what you're doing is the right thing, then you do it. And I didn't think I was going back to work, ever. Maybe one day I would have wanted to. This happened, and I count it as a blessing every day. But the fact that I can inspire others to see what it can do for them by just doing what I've done and what I'm doing, that's where I think each and every one of you have the power to find your purpose and align it to your personal goals and priority, okay? And I know it's not going to be easy, okay, guys? It takes a lot of sacrifice and a lot of hard work, but there's simple activities. Everything gets boiled down to the vital behaviors, to really talk to, meet more people, and invite them to join you. And follow up, because no one's ready on the first time that you ask. Well, not many people are ready on the first time you ask them, okay? So just know that if you don't do the follow-up, someone else will. It takes 5 to 7 times for somebody to commit to something like this. And if you have asked them 3 times and they've seen it on the infomercial and maybe their friend on Facebook's doing it and you don't move back around for number 7 and somebody else gets them, then they'll say, yeah, you know what, Jen talked to me about that, but yeah, I don't even know if she's doing it anymore. Of course I'll join your group. That happens. It's happened to me. It's happened to people on this call. So just keep sharing what you're doing and inviting people until they say, hey, you need to stop asking me. I said no. Until they say that, it's okay to ask them again. Hey, I was thinking of you because I'm not sure if you're interested right now. Promise I won't bother you, but if you are interested, I just wanted you to know my group starts next week and I'd love to have you join. Oh, you know what, this isn't the right time and thanks for thinking of me. Awesome, well, you know what, I'll ask you again next time. And they say, okay. And it's really, if you're looking out for them and it's about them, I think they're going to respect you, know that you care about them. But just don't come around. Make sure that you're checking in with them and caring about them, even when it's not the end of the month and you need your point, okay? That's how you can work to be very authentic if your goals are about other people instead of just about whatever the purpose or the prize is in front of you, okay? And I have to balance that because my competition is so strong. I really need to work on that. That's not easy. Everyone has their challenges, okay? That's all I have, unless there's another question. Does anyone think of anything else they want to ask? It can be about that little rant that I just went on to. Thank you all for your time tonight. It means a lot to me to get to share with you. And when I see who's showing up, that also speaks a lot of, I know who's committed. So when I see you posting and I see you doing stuff, I know you're serious, guys. And I know there will be people who listen to the call afterwards. So I'm not saying these are the only people. I'm just saying it helps me stay motivated by seeing every one of you and knowing that what you're doing makes a difference. So you should know that too. What you're doing makes a difference. So thanks, guys. And I will be probably joining, maybe not. Next week I'm on vacation. So I might be on the call as a guest and I might not, but I won't be running the call. We'll make sure to get you the topic and the host's information before the call or one of the things. Okay? Have a great night and a good week.